morning. Welcome to You, Math, and Me. I'm George Randall, and today we're going to be looking at solving systems of equations. Okay? Now, systems of equations are where you have more than two equations. In this case, we're going to use two, where we have some values, unknown values, x and y, in the two similar equations, and we have to solve these equations where both of these particular answers are true. Okay. So let's look at this first question. And the way we're going to solve this, there are various methods. We have substitution and elimination. Okay? Now, we can do what's called elimination first. We're going to do what I call elimination. And what we have to do is isolate or eliminate one of these variables. Okay? And we can do this by one or two several ways. What we're going to do here, we have minus 4x plus y equals minus 13. Okay? Now, if you look at this closer, we also have x minus y equals 4. Now, when we say elimination, we could look at this and say, cancellation. What can we get rid of if we add down? This says that x minus y equals 4. So again, whatever we do to one side, even though it doesn't say 4, this does equal 4. Okay? So you have to trust me on that. This does equal 4. So let's look at this. We have a minus 4x and a plus 1x. And when we add down, we get a minus 3x. What happens here? We have a 1, a plus 1, and a minus 1. Those cancel each other out, or it's plus 0, correct? So we turn around and just cancel that out. And this should be minus 4. And then, of course, we have a minus 13 minus positive 4. Positive or negative 4, and we just subtract, and we get negative 9. Now we're solving for x. How do you undo multiplication? We divide by negative 3. Whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you must do to the other. So we divide by negative 3. And that says that we're left with x, and x equals 3. So we found the value of one of these particular variables. Now, we take this 3 and we put it in, let's say, the bottom one. And we go 1 times 3, subtract y equals minus 4. Okay? So here we have 3 minus, and we subtract 3 because that's a plus 3. And whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other. And that says minus y equals, change the sign and add, and that's going to be a minus 7. However, this is a negative 1, so we have to divide by negative 1. And y equals 7. So we should be able to go back and replace wherever we have our values and see that if these two statements are true. Real quick, minus 4 times 3 is a negative 12. Plus 7. So this is not true. We made an error. So we have to go back through and look at our calculations. I'm sorry, this is minus 1. So again, minus 12 plus minus 1, and we get a negative 13. And the other one, 3, and we get a negative 4. Okay, that's elimination. We can look at a similar problem where we have minus 5y plus 8x equals minus 18. And the other problem, 5y plus 2x equals 58. Okay. And again, we look at elimination. We have a minus 5 and a plus 5. So if we add down, that's eliminated. Here, 8x plus 2x is 10x. A minus 18 is 40. How do we undo multiplication? We divide by 10. X equals 4. Okay? We'll replace it here. And we'll have 5y plus 8 equals 58. Okay? Again, we undo addition with subtraction. Whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other. This is eliminated. You have 5y equals 50. Undo multiplication by dividing by 5. Y equals 10. Okay? So a minus 5 times 10 is a minus 50. And then x, which is 4, times 8 is 32. And when you add those two, you get 18. And down here, we've got y equals 10, that's 50. Plus 8 is 58. You got two true statements. Okay. Now, we've looked at the way to solve a problem via elimination. Okay? Let's look at the same problem where we have minus 5y plus 8x equals minus 18 plus 5y plus 2x equals 58. And we're going to solve it via substitution. And we make a decision. And without going through the whole process, the first thing is we take the top equation, or we could take the bottom equation. It doesn't make any difference. And we have to get it in what's called y-intercept form. And this is more involved because you have to have it looking y equals mx plus b. Okay? So in other words, this y has to equal something. First thing we're going to do is subtract 8x. Whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. You draw a line. This is takes itself out. You have minus 5y equals minus 18 minus 8x. And again, I said I had to get it in this y-intercept form. So in order to undo this multiplication, we have to divide by minus 5. And whatever you do to one side, and then you end up with y equals minus 18 divided by minus 5 is a positive 18 over 5. And this becomes a positive 8 over 5x. We're going to stop right there. And the reason we're going to stop right there because the work involved in using substitution is longer than elimination. And then there's a third way, which we're not going to show you because I don't have graph paper this size. It's graphing. Okay, so imagine taking this y, this value for y, and plugging it in wherever you have y to find out what x is. The steps are involved. So, If you have any questions on continuing this operation, you can reach me at gerrandall22@gmail.com. But when we come back, we're going to have a word problem. And because it is important to be able to read also and develop your own equations. I'll be right back. Thank you.
Business owners looking for a place to advertise your business and promote your products and services? VOXWAV is the right place. We have over 10,000 views a day and 70,000 listeners a month. For more information, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
VOXWAV now features a streaming radio media player on our website's front page, where local artists can get their music played 24/7. For more information on getting your music in rotation or to perform live at our studio, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
Welcome back. And today we're going to look at a word problem. And it says, and again it's going to be a form of solving a system of equations. It says Nadia and Peter visit a candy store. Okay? Nadia buys 3 candy bars and 4 fruit roll-ups. Okay? Peter buys 3 candy bars, but can only afford 1 additional fruit roll-up. His purchase cost is $1.79. So first, and then it says, what is the cost of each candy bar and each roll-up? Well, again, Nadia will put in, purchase 4 candy bars, and we use the letter C as the variable. And, 3 candy bars and 4 fruit roll-ups, and we'll use F. And that cost $2.84. Peter also bought 3 candy bars. However, he could only afford 1 fruit roll-up, and his total was $1.79. Okay. And again, they asked us to find, again, we have a system of equations, and to find the value for the candy and the fruit roll-up. Now, we're going to use, again, elimination. And right now, without doing something related to looking at these 2 equations, there's nothing that we can eliminate. However, in mathematics, you always say, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you can do to the other. For example, we can multiply this bottom equation by a -1. Okay? And what happens with that is this -1 times 3c, so-3c, minus 1f minus $1.79. Now, we don't have negative money, but for this purpose, it didn't change the value. Now, what we would then do is take this out. Okay? And now we can look at elimination of this variable. And this becomes 3F, and you're left with 1.05. Okay? And now, how do you undo multiplication? You divide. And whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. And real quick, three, 9. The fruit roll-up, 35 cents. Okay? Now, we know what the value of the fruit roll-up is. Okay. So we're going to come over here. First, we're going to do this. The fruit roll-up is equal to 35 cents. So real quick, multiplication, 35 times 4, 20. 12 plus 2, $1.40. So what I did was replace the value of F, 35 cents. So when I come over here, I'm going to write 3C plus $1.40 equals 284. Okay. Now, we subtract 140, and whatever you do to one side, do to the other. This goes out, you're left with 3C equals 441. Again, $1.44. Again, undo multiplication with division. Divide by 3. Whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. And again, we're looking at C's left. 3 goes into 14 how many times? 4. You're left with 2. 24, or 3 goes into 24, 8 times. And the candy is 48 cents. It's imperative to check, okay? Because now we have the cost of the candy and the cost of the fruit roll-up. But we should check. And we'll go back and look at the original equation. I'll write that in. 3C plus 1F equals $1.79. Okay? We'll put our values over here. Fruit roll-up, 35 cents. Candy, 48 cents. Okay. 3 times 48. $24, $1.44. Okay? And we're doing the top equation. So that's 144. Then the candy, right here, 140. That's one true statement. Okay? We already know 3 times 48 is 144. And only one fruit roll-up, 35. And and that equals 179. And when you add these together, that equals 179. You got two true statements. Again, we took a word problem, we converted it into a system of equations where we had two unknowns, and we were able to determine, in this case, the cost of the candy and the cost of the fruit roll-ups. Well, if you have any questions, again, you can reach me at gerandall22@gmail.com. And until next time, again, I'm George Randall with You, Math, and Me. Thank you, and have a great day.